What is up, YouTube family? Welcome to my new channel, the very first video for quintessential music and hip hop, where we're going to be talking about everything going on in the music world, in the hip hop world, and in the entertainment world. And what's going on right now in the hip hop world is the Christian rapper D1 just shook up the whole hip hop world. Now, in today's social media era, in this microwave era, things don't even stick no more. Like, it's crazy how outlandish things will come out, and they will send shockwaves through hip hop, but after like a week or so, it's gone. Like stuff don't even last a week now, and it's like on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of sad because when we have big issues like what's going on right now with this D1, Jim Jones, Rick Ross, Meek Mill situation, this is something really powerful. This is what hip hop has needed for many years now, for many, many years. This is the spotlight that's needed to be on hip hop. And I got a feeling that this thing is not going to last long. It's going to be another microwavable topic, just like any other scandal or any other drama in hip hop. But it's like stuff is so fast now that nobody takes any of these things serious. They'll take it serious for a day or two, and then it's on to the next one. And what happens is the real important topics, the things that everybody needs to be really focused on, like this particular topic, this is what needs to stay in the forefront to be addressed, like seriously. So let's break it down. For those that don't know, there's a Christian rapper named D1. He's been doing this thing for, I guess, 10 years or so, and he's a dope artist. Like, he can really rhyme. He really got good music. And just because he's a Christian rapper doesn't mean that he's rapping, like doing gospel rap and all things like that. No, he's from New Orleans, so he has that New Orleans swag like Lil Wayne and Cash Money and all that, has the accents. And he does positive and Christian rap in a way that is listenable to somebody who's not into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing how he's able to do it. It's really profound. And it's really made him a great artist, a great MC, and seems to be a really good brother, a really good individual that has passion for, the music and the culture and the people, right? Now, there's some questionable things going on right now with D1, like some of his skeletons are falling out of the closet, and we'll address that at another time. I don't want to throw shade on the topic and throw shade on that brother. Let's deal with this thing one step at a time here. But for those that don't know, he came out and he basically put some rappers under the spotlight and called them hypocrites, specifically Meek Mill, Rick Ross, and Jim Jones, telling these brothers, hey, I love y'all, but y'all can do better. Like, y'all are still glorifying the negative things in the black community that goes against God's word. Like, if y'all supposed to be Christian or Baptist or believers of God and believers of Jesus or whatever, you're supposed to be growing and leading your people to a more positive message. And in Meek Mill's case, or a lot of these dudes' cases, they go out and do things in the community, but they contradict what they're doing with their music. So D1 came out and was like, yo, Meek Mill, your whole premise outside of the music, like what you're standing for is prison reform. Like, you're fighting for prison reform, but your music is leading your fans and your audience straight into the prison, because all you talking about is guns and shooting your brother and street shit, violent shit, drugs, money, women, and you're glorifying all the things that are considered a sin in the Bible. And the thing about this whole Christianity aspect of it, one of the things I've always said for many years is it's amazing how a lot of these rappers will glorify everything that goes against their religion. But as soon as they win an award or something, they'll be like, I want to thank God for getting me this award and this and that. And I heard somebody say something that was profound. I think it was D1. Yeah, D1 said, he was like, yo, a lot of y'all think that y'all are receiving blessings from God, but the devil can give his people blessings too. So these riches and all these accolades and awards and stuff, you how are you getting these things from God if you're representing everything that goes against God and his word? So maybe you're getting those things from the devil. Now, to be transparent, I am not tied to any religion. I'm neutral in this. This is why it's so profound for me. I can kind of like step back from it all and just watch it all unfold from afar, right? But still have my 2 cents on, give my 2 cents on it, right? One of the things that I always tell people is, I think Black culture and the Black race in America, African Americans, really missed the boat when they stopped following the Nation of Islam. And I'm going to tell you why. I know Nation of Islam has its issues and people, to me, they of course wanted to put a black eye on the Nation of Islam because you saw what they were doing, right? Like a lot of people talking shit about Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, like, oh, they killed Malcolm X or some shit like that, even though they just proved that they had nothing to do with it. I believe the documentaries on, I know Netflix tried to tie them to it, I think, in that documentary, but they actually came out and absolved them from that. There was proof that it was the government that did it, but nobody wants to listen to that now. But anyway, my point was, look at how everybody was down with the Nation of Islam when it came to the Million Man March. Like when you talk about the Million Man March, right? Everybody went out there. Everybody was rolling with Farrakhan. Everybody was rolling with the Nation of Islam, right? And he started holding people accountable. And slowly but surely, people started falling off. People didn't want to hold themselves accountable and hold themselves to the standards of what he was talking about. And then they did the anniversary of the Million Man March. I think it was the 10th or the 20th anniversary. And then they did the Million Family March. And I think they did the women and everything too. So the last 3 that they did, I was at those 3. I was locked up when the Million Man March was going on. So I couldn't make that. So I swore that I would be at all the other ones. And what I noticed was, I said, man, if black people followed the standards of Islam, even if you didn't become a Muslim, if you followed the standards of Islam, like when hip hop was doing 5%, like when all the rappers were 5%ers, that was a great time for hip hop. It was a positive time. People were trying to get knowledge. People were trying to get educated. People were trying to have a knowledge of themselves. People were teaching other brothers. Like it was a code in the streets where if you didn't know your mathematics and you didn't know supreme math and supreme alphabet, if you didn't know your 120 lessons when it came to the 5% nation, you would get beat up or reprimanded for not having knowledge, for not having your education, for not having the knowledge with it. Now it's the opposite. Everything is about ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And when you look back and see what's going on with these rappers, they are glorifying everything that Christianity deems as a sin, right? So think about this. Muslims do not stray away from their religion. When you see a Muslim, right, they are down for Islam. I mean, to the point where you saw what happened with the 9/11, with the Middle Easterners, the terrorists. They will kill themselves for their God. That's how serious they are about that, right? Christianity, or Christians, they can call themselves Christian and not even pray. Muslims pray 7 times a day. Christians, they don't even get on their knees and pray no more. They'll just close their eyes and say a quick little prayer, and they don't even go through the ritual no more. They won't even get on their knees and clutch their hands like back in the day. And Muslims, on the other hand, get on their knees with a rug and they pray 7 times a day. The reason I'm explaining to you the difference of those two religions is because since black people didn't go with the Nation of Islam, they're not serious. They're not focused. They're not holding themselves to a religion. They're not trying to better themselves and absolve themselves of their sins. If you were a Muslim and you were trying to do hip hop, or you were down with Farrakhan, you're going to have to evolve out of that past gangster or ghetto or ratchetness that you were influenced by and consumed by, right? Because the Islamic religion is going to force you to kill all that and leave that behind and grow into a more righteous person. Christianity don't do that. Christianity don't hold you accountable like that. If you're a Catholic, you can sin and just go to the confession booth, confess your sin, and then you come out the booth absolved of everything, free to go and do whatever you want to go do again. That's how freely it is right now in Christianity. So all these rappers they don't feel no kind of, they don't feel any kind of guilt. They don't feel any kind of remorse when it comes to their sinning, even just with the sinning of their tongue, the things that they're speaking on. Excuse me. So what D1 tried to, bring about was bringing all this to light to tell these rappers like, yo, how long are we going to keep glorifying the things that's killing our people, the things that's bringing the community down, the things that's bringing the race down, the things that are bringing your minds and your bodies down, the things that are bringing the religion down? Like, how long are y'all going to keep saying y'all are of God and y'all believe in God and believe in Jesus, but keep living the opposite of what the word in the Bible says? Like, nobody is practicing Christianity right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, marriage is the lowest it's ever been in America. The numbers are staggering. Unmarital sex, premarital sex, is what's popping right now. They've done surveys with all these single people, and they are, saying that they are not trying to get married. They're not even trying to have boyfriends and girlfriends and stuff. They just want to be totally solo and unattached. So marriage is out the window now. So how can you practice Christianity if you're not even having married sex? That's one of the sins in the Bible. So that's something that you're going to have to answer to if you're a Christian. The words of the tongue. That's I've never heard females cuss and talk as vulgar as any comedian or anybody that you ever heard back in the day, like a Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy. Now you have females, you have mothers that are talking like this. I mean, totally no regard for the kids, no regard for their religion, how you're speaking. What is the word? When they're talking about your spelling, right? Do you know how to spell? Like, a lot of people don't understand that a spell is witchcraft. Like, when you're saying spelling and knowing how to spell, you're talking witchcraft. Can you conjure up a spell? Right? Are you spelling? Right? So the power of the tongue is very dangerous. It can be used in a positive way or a negative way. And when you listen to hip hop, it's nothing but evil coming off the tongues of these rappers, right? And everything that they're talking about is everything that's against the Bible. So what D1 did by exposing these people and exposing these rappers and bringing this to the forefront, he's really calling out the hypocrisy going on with all these rappers. And I guarantee you that these rappers want no part of it. They want this dude to shut the fuck up. Speaking of cousin, like, it's that serious. They want him to really keep quiet because he exposes, like, they would no longer be able to make music anymore. How are gangster rappers gonna be able to switch? They don't have the skill to be able to show their growth like some of the rappers back in the day did. Even Jay-Z has shifted and shown growth. The 444 album, everybody talked about how it was his most vulnerable album, how much maturity he showed by expressing himself and his vulnerabilities on the record. If you really listen to Jay-Z's music, he's been growing ever since he got married, ever since he had kids, ever since he turned 30, 40, 50. Like he told you, I don't wear jerseys. I'm 30 plus. Give me a crisp pair of jeans and some button ups. He was growing up. He's been talking about this in his music for quite a while, and he showed his evolution. Right? Because everybody be like, oh, well, Jay-Z rapped about drugs. He don't rap about that no more. If he does mention it, he talks about it in the past tense, and he tells you the ills of it. He's always told you the ills of the game. American Gangsta, the album, showed you the rise and fall of a drug dealer. He took you through the whole process, and he finished the album showing you the songs showing the drug dealers' decline and the downfall that comes with that, right? This is growth. This is showing layers of creativity, of being a real artist and a real man who's becoming mature in his age. And you're seeing a whole bunch of gangster rappers that can't do the same thing. They are stuck in that same gangster lifestyle, even though none of them are living this gangster lifestyle. They are rich, up in rich mansions, driving supercars and exotic cars, and they are not, in the hood like that. But they're glorifying everything that's killing the hood. It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's really a sad state. This is the worst state of hip hop that it's ever been in the history of the music. gangs have taken over like no other. Vulgarity and ratchetness and twerking and sex has taken over the music like you've never heard before. What does that tell you? What does that look like? What does it remind you of? It reminds you of Revelations in the Bible that tells you how the devil would reign on earth, how the devil would be the ruler on earth before God comes and cleanses everything again and shows his wrath and things like that. Now, you could believe that or not. I'm not even of that religion. That ain't even my belief. But when I look at I'm conscious enough to look at a book that predicts these things and tells you these things in Revelations, and then you sit here and look at the world and you see what's going on in the world. And it looks very similar. And when you sit here and you know right from wrong, you know nature, you know science, you know that too much of anything is bad, right? Too much of anything is bad. So when you see hip hop music and it's totally being consumed with negativity and the things that are killing the brothers and sisters and the race and the culture, then science and nature would tell you that this is bad. You don't even have to be a religious person to understand that everything that these rappers are glorifying and being talked about is bad. Like, you don't have to be a religious person to understand that a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old twerking is not good. It's actually terrible. And this is the state of hip hop, and this is the state of the culture. This is the state of the race right now. And I don't know where it's going to go from here, because every time you think it can't get any worse, it reaches another bottom. Like, you have the rapper Sexy Red coming out with lipstick that has vulgar names. She has a green lipstick that's called gonorrhea green or some shit. If that ain't the lowest of the low you can go, I don't know what else to tell you. You got females are actually gonna go out here and buy gonorrhea green lipstick because of a ratchet ass rapper is gonna say. That means that they can give you anything, they can tell you anything, they can say anything, and you will buy anything that they selling. Anything. You got the other girl out here talking about eating ass and all kinds, Sukiana, whatever her name. I mean, just nasty. I mean, disgusting females. Like, these are the women that's supposed to be nurturing the kids and raising these kids. Like, could you imagine imagine Sexy Red's kids? Like, how are they gonna turn out? This is a very bad situation in hip hop. But as far as the situation with D1, the rappers came out and tried to do a rebuttal against him, but all they talked about was their little charity that they were doing. They didn't even address what he was talking about. That shows ignorance right there. You coming out talking about, oh, I give turkeys and I do stuff in the community. That wasn't what he was talking about. He wasn't addressing the charity. Like, anybody can go do charity work when you got riches. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about giving back to the community. One of the first things a tax person will tell you is that when you got all that money, you need to do write-offs by giving to charity. All that charity work y'all talking about is a tax write-off. Stop playing. Stop playing. We ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? So all them turkeys you gave away and all the shoes you give away and anything you doing in the community is a tax write-off. But that ain't what he was talking about. He was talking about the content of your music. How you gonna switch that up? Why you won't address the content of your music and how it's a prison to pipeline. It's a pipeline to prison situation. Hip hop is leading black people into the pits of hell, if you will. And if you're a Christian person, you're a religious person, go listen to some of this hip hop. And you tell me if it's not being influenced by something demonic or satanic. Listen to how negative it is. Like how many years are we gonna go where we're gonna talk about shooting each other, killing each other, glorifying gangster lifestyle, glorifying drugs, glorifying disrespecting the women. Like people use the B word like it's nothing now. I never thought I would see the day where dudes could call women bitches and have no ramifications for it. You can call a female a bitch and there's nothing. It's the equivalent of the N-word now. Back in the day, we used to say the N-word, but you could not say the B-word. You better not say the B-word. Queen Latifah came out and told you, who you calling a bitch? UNITY. That was the summer anthem. We had summer anthems where they had messages telling you you can't call a female a bitch. You remember Lauryn Hill's songs about the female empowerment? You heard Erykah Badu's songs about female empowerment? Where are these artists in today's rappers, in today's society? Where are these rappers? Now you got some underground ones that's really about that, but they can't see the light of day because who's controlling the industry? Who's controlling the music? But at the same time, these rappers are more independent now than ever before. So where are these rappers at that's supposed to be so positive? All you seeing is ratchetness. And this is the state of hip hop. This is the state of the race, the culture, and this is the state of the world right now. And what D1 brought to the light was something that needed to be addressed as a priority. Hip hop is destroying the culture and destroying the race. And every time people sugarcoat it and turn their head, it gets worse and worse and worse. So how long y'all gonna keep letting this go? You gonna have gonorrhea, green lipstick, and females talking about eating ass. Like what's next? How low can you go? Like when are we gonna put it into this and say, okay, enough of that ratchetness. Can we get back to some Lauryn Hill type shit? Can we get back to some UNITY type shit? Can we get back to women respecting themselves and respecting their bodies? Like how long is this ignorant shit gonna last? And it just shows you once again what the Revelation said. It talked about how the devil would rule on the planet. And it's looking very close to everything that religion is talking about. And all the religions address it. So I'm very worried that this very important topic is just going to be washed out in the next couple of days. Nobody's going to give a fuck about it. Nobody's going to even talk about this shit no more. There needs to be a town hall meeting to address this shit. Dr. Umar actually said it, I think yesterday, where he talked about this is the 50th year of hip hop. It's supposed to be a celebration. But nobody's having a conversation about how detrimental the music has been to the race. And this is what we need to be discussing, or it's going to keep continuing. And silence is condoning it. So If nobody's gonna speak up on it, and you're just gonna keep indulging in this sinning music, if you're of that religion, this is sin music that you're listening to, if that's your religion. Even me, not being of the religion, can tell you that this music is sin music. It disgusts me. Like, I gotta go listen to some Marvin Gaye after this shit. Cause this shit is disgusting. I refuse to indulge in it any longer. So that's my time. Leave some comments and tell me what y'all think about what's going on with the whole D1 situation. I'm going to come back with another video because we're going to discuss some of these new skeletons that's coming out the closet with D1 and address, oh man, we're going to address what's up with that. But see, once again, that's going to take the spotlight off of the topic at hand. It's going to be some new drama, some new shit that's going to come out. This whole Will Smith gay shit has just taken over the media, and nobody's going to talk about how detrimental hip hop is to the people anymore. So guess what's going to happen? Hip hop is going to keep killing the people. So I hope y'all speak out on it. I hope we keep this thing going and try to keep this thing in the spotlight, because it is the number one problem in the black community right now. So until next time, y'all, if y'all want to change your life, scale your life to the next level, check out some of the links down below. And until next time, I holler at you.